Perfect. Ryan Day, Business Development Director at MaxPeople HR. Your number is 905-261-0877. Welcome.
Thank you, Will. Thanks for having me.
And I thought it'd be, I mean, you sort of reached out to me a couple weeks ago or last week, I think, just saying it's time to get caught up. And with all that's happening right now with employers and COVID and employees being fearful of not having sick days, blah, 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 I think you reaching out was perfect because, I have people that question, you're in real estate. Why are you guys still out and about? I'm like, real estate's pretty safe. Like I'm pretty, like I don't leave my house unless I have to.
For sure.
And it's, but if you're someone working in the front lines or working in a factory and you have to go to work,
a little different. Yeah.
A little different. So what are you seeing, in terms of what's coming, across your desk, and what are you sort of providing in terms of, suggestions to people?
I think the biggest thing that we're dealing with right now is employee engagement. How do I engage with the people that are working from home? Because it's different, right? If you get up and your routine hasn't really changed, you're going into the office or going into the factory or going into the warehouse, whatever it be, that really hasn't changed. The biggest thing is for people like me and you who are used to going out, shaking hands and kissing babies and door knocking. Now we can't do that. A lot of it is around engagement with the employees and how do we engage them when they're, for me right now, right, sitting in the same room every single day trying to do business. It's hard, right? So I would say, definitely just employee engagement, reach out as often as you can. That's one of the things that employees are saying right now is I haven't heard from my manager. I haven't heard from my owner. I haven't heard from the person I report to in a long time, right? So what I suggest, business owner, managers, CEOs, VPs, whatever, just reach out and talk to people. Just like I did to you. I was like, I haven't spoken to this fine gentleman, but I see his awesome video about that. I got to reach out and say hi. So just reach out and say hi to your employees, right? Check in on them.
And how often should someone, once a month, or on a regular basis? How often should you do that?
Obviously, the looking at the size of the organization, right? You have 400 employees. You're not going to reach out to everyone, right, on a daily basis or weekly. But for me, right, when I was managing all my teams that I always had direct reports to me, I was reaching out to everyone at least every single day just to say hi, right? Not necessarily, hey, what are you working on? What's going on? It's just more of, hey, how are you? Right? Checking in on your mental well-being. So good question. I don't know, once a week, maybe once a month. But for a lot of people, if they haven't reached out, maybe start doing that now.
You said mental well-being. And so I'm making a note here, mental health. Now, we now know that people, now that schools are now done, probably till September, people are stressed to the max with working from home, now having to work from home full-time, be nanny and teacher. What can an employer do to help minimize an employee's stress?
Yeah, that's a great one. I think most people realize the days of 9 to 5 sometimes are gone, right? A lot of people I find they're working outside of work hours. I have a lot of people I'm talking to, like I myself have 3 kids. I'm lucky that my wife, not lucky in the sense, but in her business, she got laid off, so she's home. So I'm lucky that I have someone at home like that. But for most, they don't. So for a lot, I just say, let people work if it be outside of work hours. That seems to be somewhat of the norm for a lot. I'm going to work at 8 o'clock at night after my kids go to bed and get as much work in as I can. So I think the traditional 9 to 5 is somewhat out the door at times, but as long as people are still getting their work in, that's one thing that a lot of business owners are looking at, right? Now, another one would be like the hybrid model. We have that coming down where a lot of people say, I am allowed to have my employees come into the office, right? Because I'm an essential worker, but some are doing it staggered days where they might come in on a Wednesday and a Thursday, and then you might come in on a Tuesday and a Friday, right? So they stagger it. So we have a lot of businesses that are looking at that model.
Well. Yeah, so basically what you're saying is that employers have to be almost sort of like a bit more flexible when it comes to what the employees need to be successful.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Another one I would say is a lot of people haven't taken vacation time because they're all waiting. Oh, this might be over soon. Then I want to make my vacation time for when this hopefully is over. And I would say no, right? In a polite way, try to force your employees to take days off, right? That helps their mental well-being too. Because again, for a lot of people like me and you who are stuck at home, it's hard because there's really nowhere to go. We can't leave what we're stuck in. So get people to get outside their homes and, go for walks every day. Mental well-being. That's what I've been doing. I go for a walk every day at 12 o'clock. As long as my schedule permits, I can get out. I try to get out for at least an hour.
You no longer, don't you run? I thought you were a runner.
I was running, yeah. And then I pretty much broke. I really, really twisted my ankle really, really bad where I should have broken it. So that put me on the sidelines for 6 months. And then I got lazy. I'm 40 now. I'm 40. Walking or running, am I going to burn the same amount of calories? Probably. So I'm going to go the less intrusive way. And
yeah, I heard that walking, it does burn the same amount of calories as running.
Yeah. So once I realized that, again, who knows, right? You don't know what to believe anymore when you read stuff. But I read that from a couple different angles too. And I thought, you know what? Why? I'm killing my knees.
I've never gotten people's need to run.
Unless you're being chased.
Exactly. Or hungry. Like I've never, like, you know, it's like the coldest day outside. Like, you know, like those cold February days. And you see, like, there's a guy in Whitby. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He walks, he runs without shoes.
With that, yeah, the barefoot runner.
Yeah.
I've seen him.
You seen him?
Yeah, I've seen him in February, minus 40.
Thank you.
Broad Street. I'm like, that guy's awesome.
Salt, pebbles, sand on the ground, and just running like, you know, it doesn't bother him, and it's minus 40 out.
Every day.
That's crazy.
Have you seen a unicycler in Bowmanville?
Oh, what's a cycler?
He rides a unicycle almost every day, and I believe he does 50 kilometers. Don't quote me, but I want to say that I read he does 50K every day. He rides a unicycle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another guy. Have you seen the guy that runs in juggles?
In Bowmanville?
In Bowmanville, yeah. Now, he lives here, but I've seen him. The gentleman runs in juggles while he's running. I sometimes can't even run in a straight line.
I know. What's the point of juggling? Like, what if it's windy? Like, what if it's windy outside? It's gonna be very hard to juggle.
It might be, but yeah, he does it. It's crazy.
Interesting. So, what have you learned? Like being a guy that doing what you do, talking to the people you talk to. What's your biggest takeaway over the last year of this pandemic?
Oh, that's a great question.
I know. Thank you. I'm really good.
That is a great, wow. Biggest takeaway. Well, I don't know. I think sometimes there's more negative on the positives, but let's focus on the positives, right? I think for some like myself, right, it's I've learned that at times I said, you know, the hustle and bustle, and I got to get one kid here and one kid there and one kid there. I realized that at the time I was complaining about that. I realized how much I missed that and how much I welcome that back. Right. That being said, it's also let me enjoy myself more with my family, right, and do little things. I don't know about you, but I've found new paths and nature trails that I didn't even know existed that are 5 kilometers down the street from my house. So I would say, you know, it's allowed me to experience new things in my area, and I would say even furthermore, meet new people. Right. Because a lot of times you just like meet new neighbors or just get to know your neighbors even more.
That is true. I agree with you, the neighbors part, because I'm literally like, if you saw I'm like gardening a lot more. Though my grass is like garbage, and everyone's out there talking. It's actually quite nice. People are not quick to run off somewhere. They're home. They're outside. Everyone's lawns look really good. You know, I'm weird about that kind of stuff. So I think it's been great.
Yeah, I would say that one is get to know your neighbors more on a personal level. Yeah.
Exactly. No, and you know, for me over the last year, I mean, being in real estate, my God, you know, life does not. I realize life does not stop during a pandemic. People still need to move. People still need to. But what people are doing now, because they've been locked down for a year, they're reevaluating how they live their life. Mm-hmm. You know, they saw how they lived before. They're now home during the pandemic. And coming out of the pandemic, that's why the market's going so crazy. They're saying, what do I need to sustain the current life that I have right now? I need more space. I need to be closer to nature trails or better schools or have an office. And so that's what you're seeing. We're seeing a lot of people coming out of the city, have a small condo or whatever, and coming up to Bowmanville, Oshawa, Whitby, wherever, our area.
Hot, eh? Yeah.
And coming out and buying, you know, a larger home, just so they can sort of, you know, have family space, have workspace, and have a bit of a yard, you know. And what I've noticed too, also storage space is important.
Really?
Buyers a lot, and people are like, oh, let's look underneath the stairs. They go underneath the stairs. They go in the closets, look in the garage, because you know, coming out of this, you lack storage. So you now know that you're living in your home now. You need to have a place for your Christmas decorations and your Halloween decorations and your this decorations and stuff. So that's been interesting to watch my clients walk and look at it, like even like a patio. They look in the, okay, if we bought a new set, and it gets weird because now before people used to worry about bedrooms, you realize you don't spend that much time in your bedroom. You sleep in your bedroom. You know, if you have a big master bedroom, you may have a TV in there. But I can't tell you the last time I watched TV in my bed. I'm downstairs or on my back deck now, and then once when I go upstairs, I sleep. Like, so people's lifestyle has changed a bit more, and so you're seeing that in how they choose the home they're going to live in, and that's what's driving the market. And inventory is always going to be an issue.
Oh, yeah.
There's always going to be too many buyers. And Bowmanville and Oshawa are the places to move to, apparently, in Durham region. And, you were saying to me that you had a house, on your street that sold for like over $1 million, right? And that's becoming the norm now.
1.1, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Me in Bowmanville, right? Like you probably know, Old Scugog Road, right? The Christmas Light Street.
Right.
That's a $1 million neighborhood.
Right.
And I'm like, my house is worth 1.1. What? Hold on a second. Right? But like you were saying the other day, it's awesome you sell it, but it's kind of relative where you're going to go.
Exactly. Where you're going to go
to make money, right?
Right.
So it's nuts. But hey, for guys like you, take advantage of this.
But yeah,
money.
Complaints too, right? You hear people saying the market's unfair, blah, blah, blah. Rates are so, when I first bought my house, many years, I'm old. We're almost the same age, but I'm older.
Yeah.
My rate was like 9% when I bought my first house, my mortgage rate.
Wow. Yeah.
And now I'm about to renew. It's going to be like 1.4 or whatever, 5. That's insane. So you can afford a lot more, right? Pay and the rates are so low that it almost makes it, feel like the money is almost free. And that's what people need to realize. It's just the money is cheaper to borrow. People can buy more. That's driving up the price. When you and I talked Wednesday, I said the only thing that's going to change this market, I think, they can change a stress test. That's not going to impact the market for long, is making the bidding process for homes public. Like doing a because I think that's the only way that as a buyer, you can sort of see, that you're not overbidding on something and that it's reasonable to other bids.
Well, if you don't mind, like, what's this app that my buddy told me to get not too long ago?
Is it House Sigma?
House Sigma. What's your take on that? Because it shows you if offers were terminated and what the house sold for. So it's really not protecting the privacy in that case of the homeowner or even of the buyer, right? But to me, I kind of like that because it gives me now that knowledge going in. If I'm going to buy a house, okay, maybe I know where my money's going to fall or what kind of house.
I mean, House Sigma it's not live, right? So it's not like it's giving you that live. Like you're bidding tonight at 5 o'clock.
No, true.
Right?
Yeah.
So it gives you an idea of what it goes for. The problem with the market currently is that every sale is different. House Sigma gives you an idea of what something sold for, how many offers potentially that were on that home. But I've been in offers where there's been 5 offers. I've been in offer situations where there's been 45 offers. Wow. And sometimes you think, like I have lost in an offer situation where my clients are adamant on having a condition in their home inspection.
And that doesn't exist anymore, right? No one wants that.
But they wanted it. It was a house they loved it, but they wanted to make sure. They had the highest bid. So they had the highest price. But because of that condition, the sellers went with the bid that was $20,000 less because they don't want to miss out on the opportunity to get their house.
Or they're hiding something.
Exactly. So that's what happens in the seller's market. It's a risk, your client. And as an agent, you can advise them, but ultimately it is not my money. And it's not my house, right? So if they wanted a condition there, I could say this could potentially happen. Yeah. But so it happens. So I would say the seller's motivation is different. Some sellers I've seen some homes sell with conditions now. I saw a couple of Bowmanville this morning. I saw one in Oshawa where they've allowed for a condition of finance or condition of home inspection. That's some sellers, right? So the market's slightly becoming a bit more, I think, balanced, but it's going to take a long way to become balanced, in my opinion. Yeah.
And let's be honest, do you think they'll ever get to that where it's an open bid where the bid's coming in?
It'll take years. I think it will take, I think there's an agent that I follow that did it in like Ottawa or somewhere east of here. And the house will sold over ask. The house will still sell above its asking price.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the great thing is you can have the house priced within its range of value, and it can still sell well above it. But at least if everyone knows what's happening, everyone comes out of it feeling a lot better versus like, yeah, we got the house, but we really paid a lot for it.
Yeah.
Being kind of resentful about the whole process. And that's real estate. The market will the market crash? No. I put out a post on Monday saying, everyone says, every time we have this kind of crazy price, explosion, the market does not crash. It may flatten,
No.
it may get 20%, it may come down 5%, but year-over-year sales being up, 25%, that's coming out of what we plummeted last March. 45% year-over-year. We have Pickering and Ajax having home values over $1 million now, and it's insane. So I
do sometimes feel sorry for those people in March of last year that when this started didn't know and they got scared and they just took the offers, and now that same house being flipped for $350,000 more than what they sold last year.
You're seeing that. You saw homes that sold last March, and then in the summer last year, sold $350,000 more, and all they did was add a chandelier. Like they add nothing to it. But yeah, so that's the market. As long as you come into the market as a buyer with some education and understanding of what's happening in the market, you should be fine. And as long as you have a good plan in place, you can be a homeowner. Just you have to be reasonable and understand the market.
But how my kids? That's the thing that scares me, man. I got 3 kids. 3 kids. How are they gonna afford? I'm seeing little townhouses in Bowmanville going for almost $900,000. I was like, oh man. I'll be sitting here when I'm 80 going to my kids, hey, how's it going? And my grandkids will be running around because they'll all be living with
but you aren't seeing that now. You're seeing multi-generational homes, with big houses with finished basements with kitchens. It's becoming the norm. And you have the bidding wars out in Brighton and Coburg and Cottage Country. So it's not just it's not just the GTA, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Ontario, I just saw something yesterday. It's all of Canada right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Nuts. It's insane. But again, back to you.
I love it.
So you're hearing about all this, paid sick days stuff that's happening with the government. I don't know what they're going to announce today. But what's your thought on that in terms of, because I think the government's position would be if we provide it now, it's a slippery slope. That's going to be something they're going to probably have to provide forever. Versus having an Amazon that makes billions of dollars a day.
Yeah.
Providing their employees with 10 sick days. So what are you telling smaller employers? What should they do in this situation?
Yeah, for me, especially on the smaller end, right, a lot won't have a policy in place. But you always want to look at if you put that in and you're going to give them now 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, what's that going to do for the morale? It's probably going to make the morale good, right? So my is always, it might cost you something up front, but what's that going to gain you long term? So for me, if it's going to help with the morale and make the staff feel more comfortable, then to me, that is something that would be beneficial. And let's be honest too, with having the kids at home a lot, it's hard for parents to find daycare. So sometimes these sick days, even if it's paid or not, they should be there. So the good employers I find right now are accommodating, and they're kind of going on the fly, right? Because let's be honest, this whole last year, things change every single day. So it is kind of one thing you kind of have to go along, with the fly and see how it goes. But I always equate it back to, what's it going to do for the morale? How do you think it's going to affect your staff? And if everything's going to say it's going to be positive, it's going to bring positivity, then just go ahead and do it. It makes sense, right? On the government level, I don't know why he hasn't come out with more. If you're forcing people to stay at home and do this and do that, there's got to be something in it for them to help them out too, right? So this is still the hard part, is how often this stuff changes, right? I'll say in one day, no, the schools aren't closing because there's no transmissions and we're fine. And then 2 days later, the kids are staying home indefinitely. It's like, which one is it here? So, right? This is going back to, I guess, that guy running, right? Business owners are just juggling all day long, right? The wind might come in and knock a ball off, but pick it up and start juggling again.
Right. So when it comes to the kind of businesses that you guys help and support, I'm going to assume if there's a larger, let's say there's a chain restaurant, maybe not a national chain, but when you talk, I'm thinking about restaurants right now and paid sick leaves and managing during the pandemic. Like, what kind of advice would you give to a restaurant that, will open eventually with patio, season coming up? What kind of advice would you give them?
To be honest with the restaurants, it's hard because we don't know what's happening. Their industry and the hair salons, they've been really affected in the last year more than anything else, right? So most restaurants now, they're probably going with just a couple small staff, right? In terms of amounts, a couple cooks, maybe someone answering the phone. All right. But when normalcy comes back, then yes, we should still have some sort of, I always say that paid sick days should be a part of any organization's policy right off the hop.
Yeah, because it baffles my mind that I think the whole outbreak in Peel was Peel or York. I think Peel was an Amazon factory, right? And so, yeah. And I didn't know that Amazon didn't provide their employees as much as they make. And as amazing as Amazon is for deliveries, they should at least provide. I mean, I hear in the States that Amazon pays no tax, which is insane.
Really?
Which is crazy. So they should do something for their employees so they can feel safe going to work and not bring back the disease to their families. And that's the issue right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
It's hard, right? On one hand, it's like I feel like I'm forced to work because I have to provide for my family. Right. On the other hand, I don't feel comfortable doing it. It comes down to you just got to look yourself in the mirror and figure out which one's more important to you, right? And if it's health, then do what's right for you on the health stage. But then it comes into the legalities around how's your employer going to handle that, right? So for us and our clients at MaxPeople, we just try to always give the best advice possible as per the latest legislation, right? To be compliant, this is what we need to be doing. But then it also comes to that human aspect too of, okay, well, what's it going to do for morale if you introduce a new policy around A, B, and C? So these things are changing all the time. That's why I love being in the HR and people culture space, right? It's working with employees and employers.
Do you take HR in school?
No.
What do you take with you? We went to Durham together eons ago.
Durham College, yeah. I was DJ Rad, and you were the bar manager.
That's right. When I was there at DCSA days, student council, what? I graduated. So I have marketing and actually my background is in HR. And
no way.
Yeah. So you were the DJ for the pub.
Yeah. 3 years.
But didn't you work for I'm trying to think of the tours company.
Breakaway
Tours. Thank you. My memory's going. Right, my memory's going.
It's because you're old.
I just was 20 years this spring that I left college. Is that crazy?
That's nuts.
What is going on with life?
Me too, man.
Do you believe that entrepreneurs should have an education or some kind of training in HR?
That's a great question. No, just call me and I'll handle it for them.
But even though I have it, I would use your service because sometimes you get set. When you're a business owner, you're set on money, and not really what the process and how the process supports engagement and engagement to support making money, right? So even though my background's in HR, I would still use your service.
Yeah.
Right? Sure. Go ahead, sorry.
No, it's tough. I talked to I brought on a new client yesterday. Amazing client, does some great stuff. He's been in business for 12 years, hasn't had HR. And he was the first to admit, like most business owners, when they start off, it's the fun stuff. I got to come up with a name, a logo, a website, the branding. It's the fun stuff that gets they never think about the things in the background that they need. Proper employee contracts, proper employee handbook, how to deal with people. An organizational structure. Do you have an org chart? No. Well, you need these things because what I say is this is the foundation for any small business is you got to start by digging the hole and build the foundation up. And to me, that starts with your people and you have to have the right processes in place. So yeah, I think any small business owner, maybe not take HR obviously fully like in school, but they should have some sort of knowledge around it because most business owners are reactive, right? When things happen, then they scramble and they try to figure out how to handle it. You're better to be proactive and being proactive, especially as a startup, by putting the proper things in place, contracts, policies, just being able to deal with your people, because that's what makes any business and any organization successful, right? And it's the people.
No, you're right about that. And the thing is, as we're coming, when are we going to come out of this pandemic? I don't know. But when we eventually eventually come out of this thing,
Yeah.
one of the things that I think will be an important thing for businesses, especially when they are battling to survive, is to ensure they come out of this with something in place to protect not only themselves, but support their
Yeah.
employees. What are the key kind of things do you think that they should be looking at doing to be successful coming out of the pandemic?
For anyone right now that has proper contracts of employment, ensure you have a proper layoff clause in the event that you have to lay off staff, right? We saw too many employers last year laid off their staff during the beginning of the pandemic, and they did it wrong. And there's a lot that are challenging it. And if you start to go online and just Google, so, you can find this stuff, but you'll see that there are people that challenge based on wrongful dismissal, wrongful layoffs. So making sure you have sound contracts of employment are always going to help you. What you can do, obviously, and then is just the proper policies within your handbook. If it's a return to work policy, and then health and safety, what are you doing within the organization to make it health and safety conscious so that your employees feel that they're safe, right? So for some, it's posters, it's signage, it's policies around what you're doing. But the biggest thing that I would still say is communication. Just communicate to your staff right before you come back. These are the measures that we've done. Do you have any questions? Do you feel safe, not safe? Any concerns? Try to get the stuff out of the air and up, I guess, out of the way sooner than later. Because again, you want to be proactive in these cases. You don't want to be reactive.
Right. No, and I was just telling you before we went on air here about the Petro Canada I was at, and the Labor Board was there, Ministry of Labor, asking each employee at the Petro Canada about, did they call you asking did you have any symptoms? So that list of questions that an employer should ask apparently is very important when you're doing blitzes right now. So that's good to know. And so I guess then again for you, I guess the key thing you keep saying is employee engagement. How do you engage an employee? And you said reach out to an employee. Let's just say employees now haven't had a Christmas party in a year or seen their fellow coworkers in a year. What kind of things are you seeing people do to at least try to bring their employees together?
So what we do at MaxPeople, we do huddles every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. They're only 15 minutes long. We do it every morning, but for 15 minutes, you get to see everyone that works within the company. And we're a small company. There's only 20 of us in total, but it's still neat to see everyone. And someone typically will do like a little icebreaker game. But little things like that. It's 15 minutes. I get off, but I said to my wife, it's nice to see my coworkers on this. We have some clients that are doing drink Fridays. So every Friday at 2:30, they'll ask everyone to come on Zoom and have a drink, if it be an alcoholic beverage or not, but just the way that people can interact. We have had clients do parties like such at Easter. Some of them did it. Same thing where they just got everyone together, and one employer sent everyone like a chocolate. Right. So like a gift in the mail, and then ask everyone to open up on camera. So it's little things that might sound a little childish sometimes or different, but for some people it's, we have a couple people here at work, and I'm sure you do, and we all have friends that live alone, right? That are a little bit more fearful of COVID than maybe others will be and haven't left their house. So those are the ones, they enjoy things like such.
And then actually, another good point you just brought up again. So they are. So yes, I know people are very overly fearful of COVID. And don't get me wrong, I don't know if I'm a germaphobe, but I'm crazy about germs in general.
So you're probably like me, have always been like that.
Always
right?
been. I've never gotten. I used to get when I used to rent with friends, and I was like, oh yeah, you change your towel every day. I'm like, why wouldn't I? Like it doesn't it doesn't make sense to use the same disgusting towel you used the day before, hang it up on a rack. It's disgusting, right? But people just, I overly wash my hands. I always wipe everything down because I fear. I got something in 2019 where I believe I had probably COVID, where I literally was knocked out. I was so sick. It was over Christmas. I couldn't celebrate Christmas. I was gone for most of January.
Oh yeah, you had it.
And I was in bed for a week straight sleeping. I was like, I hate getting sick. And so even then, I became more insane about it. But those people that are fearful of and it's not, the pandemic is not going to go anywhere. COVID's with us for life.
For sure.
How do you get those employees to come back and work for you if you end up having people come back to the office?
How do you what, sorry?
How do you get people that are fearful to
Yeah.
leave their home and then now come back to the office?
That's hard. So on those individual cases, you're best to look at them, right? On an individual basis, try to figure out why, ask the proper questions, try to accommodate as best as you can. But the hard part, just like when the whole CERB thing, last year came out with $2,000 and people are like, well, I'm making more money sitting at home. I'm not coming back. You have to judge it on a one-to-one basis. But if someone legitimately is fearful, then you have to have a conversation, because what you don't want to do is the wrong way, right? Maybe terminate them, exit the business, and you could go down the human rights end. Right. So these are a little bit tricky, but let's be honest, it's hard to determine what side of the fence that people sit on, because some might be lying just because they want to sit at home, right? But if it's the business, like for example, I don't know if you heard that court case, or not court case, sorry. There was a judge that got supposedly caught working from her vacation home in like St. Bart's or St. Kitts or something, was doing court cases via Zoom, right? Provincial courts found out and said, like, why aren't you in Ontario? I guess the report said, well, I'm doing my job. Why does it matter where I am? So for people like that might be working somewhere else, right? You have to look at, like, if you need to be in the office tomorrow and you're on another island, you're obviously not going to be here tomorrow. You have to look at, cases like that. Or if you need them to come in and I say, no, I'm afraid. Well, why? Does that make sense?
It does. But my thought would be then, so if an employee then has that fear, a real fear, I guess that's a mental health thing as well. Let's say their job doesn't really require them to go into the office every day. You mentioned the whole hybrid model and any other kind of models that are out there that can support someone working from home for a majority of the time, and maybe coming in once a week. But I guess it's a policy, and I guess you have to teach each employee, treat each employee differently. That's the case.
Always depends on what the circumstances are for each case, yeah.
So I guess
what I guess is, if these things come up, 905-261-0877.
Because I guess coming out of this pandemic, then it's going. I mean, the workplace may look different, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So interesting.
So like my neighbor works for a large insurance company, right? And he's already said, my inklings are, we're going to go to the hybrid model. Because when you have office spaces like that, where you might have 1,000 people coming in the same building downtown, I think for a while you're going to see those staggered approaches for a bit. Right. But at some point, I assume that they're going to have to come back in, or if not, downtown Toronto is going to be a ghost town, right? There's going to be a lot of real estate available.
Yeah, my thoughts that commercial real estate will take a bit of a hit after we reopen, because people are going to realize, especially large, as you said, Toronto, and my wife works for an insurance company, and they're all working from home, and they're equally as efficient from home as they were in the office. Actually, probably more so.
That's what I was going to say. Probably more, because my neighbor says that I get more done at home than I ever did in the office.
Right, and so why try to change that? You may have people that want to come back to the office, but if someone can do their job efficiently while being at home, why would they want to incur that? Hassle?
For sure. For me, I would rather go see you in person, right? Zoom fatigue is a real thing. Anyone that
I agree.
They don't go on this thing all day long, right? So I would rather be across from you, especially in sales, right? Because it's so much easier to read people's body language when you're sitting across. And right now, I have no clue if you even have pants on, right?
Well, there's a guy that got some politician that got in trouble. You heard about that,
yesterday? Right? I saw that yesterday.
It was on CNN. Not wearing pants or underwear. I think he was naked. And
naked.
Like, come on now. I'm wearing can I show you? Like, I'm wearing pants. There we go. Pants. Wearing pants. I don't understand. I don't understand how you could be an adult and not be wearing at least shorts while you're on a Zoom. It makes no sense.
On a Zoom call.
Like, life's not that busy where you can't put on pants or shorts or even track pants to go to a Zoom meeting. Makes no sense. It's ridiculous.
Have you put on a dress shirt recently?
I wore one yesterday.
One that you used to be able to get the top button done.
I know. Trust me. I'm not a guy here. But I bought these. The shirt. You remember that shirt you commented on that I was wearing the other day?
One bone or whatever.
One bone. Let me tell you right now. I love them. So I ordered a whole bunch more. These shirts are nice.
Did you?
And here's another one bone shirt. They fit well. They breathe. They're long. They're good for someone that's like my size fat. And I ordered the wrong size. And this company's out of Montreal. I had no idea they're in Canada. And great customer service, great quality shirts. They wash well as well. They're not cheap, but the quality, like they wash well, and they don't like. I hate when shirts start to like look kind of washed, right?
Yeah.
So I like the fact they
the worn look.
I hate that. Yeah. So I usually buy my polo, whatever. But I was like, I'm gonna spend a few more dollars, get some nice shirts for the summer. From one, nice. I highly recommend them. They're great.
Yeah. I got suckered in on those TikTok pants for my wife. Have you seen those?
The leggings? Hey.
It was one Friday night, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta get these." $103 later.
They're $100.
They cost me like 60 something US. So after the shipping and everything, I think I paid $102 for these things.
And how did you look at them?
Let's say, she can get mad if she sees this. She wore them out the other day, and all my neighbors were out. My one buddy looks, and I go, "What are you looking at?" He goes, "Open real estate, bud." Right? So, there's 5 women all in a circle talking. All 5 women went online, and they all bought themselves a pair.
Well, no, I mean, TikTok does work, and honestly, I've bought a few products recently. You're on social media, you see something you like, you order it. No harm in it. But yeah. That's what I've learned to enjoy spending time on TikTok. Even though TikTok for me is looking at people that cook. I love watching people cook and prepare.
Maddie Matheson, I love that guy. You like that guy? Maddie Matheson.
Maddie, what does he do?
He's a cook. He's a chef.
I probably follow him. I don't know. I probably follow him, but yeah,
I'll see if I can show him for you. He's loud. He's funny.
And what's his main thing? Is he an actual chef that cooks?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's covered in tattoos, and he's just, you got to watch this guy. Let me see.
Yeah, so that's what I like to talk for that.
See this guy?
Well, I think I might follow him. Yeah, I think I might follow him.
Check him out. My kids love him, but man, that guy, everything he cooks. It's like, why is diners, drive-ins, and dives on Fridays at like 9 o'clock or whatever? That is like a work show for me, because before I know it, I'm in the fridge. Oh, what do I have in here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've become a big fan of barbecuing over this pandemic, and I mean, I have a new smoker. I have a new charcoal smoker that I'm trying out in a few weeks, and I love it. I sit out there and I smoke and have some drinks, and it's amazing. I love cooking and stuff, and that's what I'm saying with real estate. People want to enjoy their homes, and that's what's going to end up happening coming out of the pandemic. So it's great.
Do you find on that trend, like more? I guess you did allude to it. More people are looking at like the backyards and stuff. But what I found is, like, I have a living room in my garage. My garage is like a living room. It's all done up. I have a TV out there. I have a heater. People are always over there. Do you find that people are doing this more?
Huge. So I have a garage lounge as well. Like, I have my old patio set in there. I was going to buy a gas heater, but they were sold out because everyone has gas heaters in the garage. So I'm thinking about getting a guy in here, because we're locked down and it's outside, to go into my garage, empty it all out, put up drywall and insulation, add a television, add a heater. So that's what I think I might do that this summer, because I think the garage thing will continue.
I'll take a picture of mine for you. I put a golf simulator in mine.
Really?
Just like Golf Town, yeah. Right in my garage. Come over.
Yeah, send me a photo. I need to see this. Yes, that was my plan. And so you've inspired me to probably call the guy to quote it. And
I have a gas guy. So you call me. I'll get you in touch with a gas guy.
Perfect. Because I was going to get like an electric heater, and then the woman's at
no.
What's the place called? The place that I think is a car place, but it's not. Where are they? There's one in Whitby, one in
Princess Auto.
Thank you. They sell these heaters. I thought it was a car place, and I went online and they sell heaters.
You never been in there? They sell everything in there.
Yeah, and I went in there once. Actually, maybe a month ago. I was in there, and I was like, "This is too much." I'll just go on the website.
You have to search. Yeah, you have to spend time and search in there.
It's like Winners to me. Everything's all over the place. It frustrates me. I hate. That's one reason why I hate shopping. Right? It's like not. I like when I love Costco because I know where everything is.
Yeah.
I can be in and out in 10 minutes. I don't like to have to search for things. I hate it.
You know what Princess Otter reminds me of?
What?
Bargain Harold's.
I was just
Same
I
bins.
was going to say that. I hated it as a kid. Oh, my mom would go there every Saturday. God, it drove me crazy.
Get you the pony running shoes or the Trax running shoes. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember I had matching short suits. Like everything matched as a kid. And like I remember I had like a green, blue, and black, like racing stripe matching shirt and shorts and shoes, I believe, from Bargain Harold's. Yeah, I remember the slogan, "Whoo, Bargain
Harold's." Highway's coming back. Did you hear that?
I heard that, but where? Where are they opening up?
There's one by Yorkdale.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
Like by Yorkdale, like not in the mall.
I think it's on Orifice. Yeah.
Okay, so it's near. Okay, because I will never go to that mall. I hate that mall.
I hate that mall too.
Well, since we're not talking about everything else, what beer are you on right now?
What's that, sorry?
What beer?
Be honest, I kind of stopped drinking beer, right? But if I do, I go for the Miller Lite because I found like I was getting it's getting a little bloated, we'll call it. But right now, Four Roses Bourbon, that's my new find that I really do enjoy.
Four Roses
Bourbon, yeah.
And how do you take the bourbon?
I'm not a man, so I cut it with Diet Coke. I don't like it straight. I don't like any.
So this year, because of being fat, I had to give up Diet Coke this year, which was hard. Like,
yeah,
very, very. I used to go through probably a case a month, 24 cans a month, or more of Diet Coke. And a month, which is not that much, but it adds up.
Doing that with the Four Roses.
Yeah. So are you? Well, that's you. So I had to give it up, and I find drinking straight booze. I mean, there are times I may cut it with like bubbly, and just to give it a bit of something because they have a bit of, especially their new pineapple flavor. It's actually really good with rum. But yeah, so
I'll try that one.
Yeah, the pineapple one, really good. It would be great with anything dark. So, but yeah, my Eldorado. I'm on to 12-year-old Eldorado straight on the rocks.
Oh yeah, that's a great.
And I'm all about the glassware. My glasses have to be, and for my birthday last year, I got like a really round, low glass. Oh.
Do you have one of those ice cube makers that makes the circle ones? You do, don't you?
Of course.
I was looking up one. Okay, send me info because I want to buy one of those too.
Yeah, the wife got them, I think, through Amazon.
Yeah.
Or Kitchen Stuff Plus. But yeah, like the best. And the glassware, I might order more of those glasses. I'll send you a link to the glasses too because it's such a good. It's a nice heavy glass, nice wide rim. And because the ice cube's like my fist, it's so big and it goes right and the drink just goes around. It's making me thirsty. It's almost 2:00. But yeah,
once it hits the lips,
Yeah, so right now I'm on 12. I've actually got into gin as well this year, which is because I had to.
You had that purple one.
Which one?
There's like a purple or lavender gin.
I had lavender gin over the holidays, and that's why I'm like I can drink gin again. Yeah, I had it over the holidays. It was delicious, and again I had it with bubbly. Whatever green bubbly is, lime. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, lime bubbly and come on, Pink Whitney. That's my go.
Oh yes, actually, I have some in my bar in my garage. In my garage there's a bar and a full fridge filled with beers. Yeah,
I'm coming.
Yeah, and then I saw Brock Street, which I'm ordering some Brock Street. They have like vodka soda drinks. No way. Yeah, so I might order some today. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah, anything else to add, Ryan, before we are done? This was actually really good.
This was fun. We should do this more often. Call it the Two Bald Guys podcast.
Actually, no, I agree. We should do this more often because I think this is a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. So again,
I love chatting.
I know I do, and and we've known each other for 20 years. Isn't that crazy?
It's nuts. We're old.
That's insane. Well, I think we look the exact same.
I don't. I had a shitload of hair, excuse my French.
You had a lot of hair, but sort of I had hair back. Not that much. It was like probably my hair was probably back there, and then I'd get a haircut, Ryan, every week.
So did I.
I was like 37, and then one day my barber's like, "Well, what?" Like literally lining up the back of my head for a hairline. I was like, let me just try bald, and I would go there every week. I'm like, I could do this myself. Why am I spending $25 a week?
Yeah.
And so I do it myself 5 times, and then I go every 6th haircut. I go to the barber
to get this straight.
Just to get them to do that, and then they like make my beard look perfect because I found my beard very hard to do.
Right on.
Yeah, and then I
took no effort in mine.
Yeah, I dye my beard as well because it's like all white, my beard.
How much just for men do you have in there?
It's been a week, so not much. A lot of gray around here. A lot of gray here.
You don't have this. You don't have this.
Yeah, like all here is white. Like just for men, it's an amazing tool. It's really
Leave
good.
it. I want to see you natural. Do it. Why not? Do it.
Okay, maybe we'll see.
Try it.
I feel like
Do you follow that comedian troupe 85 South, the 85 South show or something like that?
No.
No, there's a comedian on there, and he grew his hair out. He goes, screw it. And he was bald. He grew it out. Oh, my God. The last year has been awesome watching him.
What's a number, Nick, you know here? What's it called?
The 85 South Show.
The South Show.
And there's a comedian. They're on, what's that show? Wild and Out?
Actually, I thought, yep. All right, yeah.
So it's one of those guys. Chico Bean, I believe is his name.
Okay, done. I'll let you know if I don't dye my beard, but my wife likes it dyed. So, and for me, I think I look 43. If it's not dyed, I feel like I look like Morgan Freeman. You know, like I look really old.
Here's a video. Look, he grew.
See, that's funny. I can't. My hair doesn't. I don't know. That's funny. I couldn't do it. That's crazy. Well, see, that's funny. But yes, actually, he has a nice beard though.
But then he has one where he gets it like twisted and stuff, and he's in his car, and he's like, ha ha, 1997 came back, and he's got some where his kids are just looking at. I love him. Freaking fun. I thought about doing it. I did. I went 3 weeks. I'm going to grow up my hair. I did 3 weeks, so that I can't do it.
Yeah, you look like I cut my hair twice a week. Because now that I'm old, I get grays, and I'm like, I can't. Too much. Too much now. So
too funny.
Ryan, again, we will do this more often. Let's do it in a couple weeks, another one. This is really good.
Yeah, let's go.
So
sure.
Ryan Day, Mr. Business Development Director at MaxPeople HR, phone number 905-261-0877 for all your HR needs. He's your guy. Thank you, Ryan. We'll do this.
Thank you so much. HR, training, recruitment, employment law. We do it all.
Perfect. And then you guys
betterment of the business.
What's your website?
MaxPeopleHR.com.
Perfect. And you guys are on LinkedIn?
We're on LinkedIn. Yeah, find me. Yeah, Ryan Day. Yeah, it's all on everything. Just Google it and you can find the links through there.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks for your time, buddy. Appreciate it. You enjoy the week.
Talk soon. Have a good weekend.
Tell that other guy, Dan, I said hi.
I will. Bye.
Take care. Bye.